Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us today. You asked and we delivered. Here is Rust Podcast EP1. So, this podcast episode is going to be about three things. We're going to discuss a little bit about the oil rig, mini choppers, and ladders. Starting off, I'll introduce everybody. We got the Saint, Crowleg, Grandpa Vet, and Seriously joining us today. My name is Boxman, and I'll be the host. Starting off with oil rig, a lot of people have been complaining on Reddit, especially about large and small oil rig, how a clan could go on, camp it, and come off with thousands of scrap, several hundreds of high qual, and walk away without a scratch. So, a few suggestions I've seen is maybe no recycler, and also maybe after the large crate on it goes away, radiation slowly appears like the cargo ship. How does anyone have any opinion on this?
Well, I think radiation should be on there all the time because not having radiation and just using, heavy armor and stuff to like push the scientists makes it way too easy.
It is very easy. Uh, we've got members in the clan here that have been able to solo small rig. Just a matter of time before people are able to solo large rig. Early wipe, they're able to take it out with crossbows and compound bows. Is just making the scientist harder going to be the answer?
I don't know about everybody else, but um, the scientists are using. They have 150 health, the normal ones, and then they're using just the normal blue radiation gear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're actually. I don't think they're hard enough. Like I think their armor is making it not hard enough, and that's why I said like if they're using radiation gear, there should be radiation.
That's maybe that's something true. Crow, what do you think of? Is it too easy?
I mean, it's too easy, and it also takes away from like the mainland of Rust. I kind of like. I mean, the cargo was fine. At least it was an event. Everybody heard it. Everybody saw it. But I don't really care for the oil rigs myself.
In the next feature update, the next wipe, they're adding the oil rigs to the maps. Saint, do you think that's going to change anything? What they'll do is there will be the symbol for a locked crate on the oil rig map, so you can tell if there's a crate or not. Do you think this will just encourage people to go there even more?
I don't really think so. I mean, I think if people were already willing to just camp the thing all day, they're still going to do that. So I don't think that's really a big enough change to shake things up.
Seriously, do you think this is just a fad maybe and then we'll go back to normal? A lot of people are saying that not even like military tunnels or launch sites being looted anymore. Everybody's just focusing all on the rig.
I think that the rig itself is a good thing. It allows yet another place at a different spot on the map for groups to go. But I do think that the ability to camp it with the recycler and no radiation is a negative thing. So if they remove the recycler and force people out when their inventories fill, I think that would be a game balance item that Facepunch should consider.
That's a good. I think.
There's
Go ahead.
there's also the issue that on large oil rig, there's a glitch where you can. Well, there's two glitches, but the first glitch is that you actually can place down bags on the oil boom. I'm assuming that's going to get fixed
I'm sure
eventually.
I'm sure that's a bug and will be patched. Eventually, you're
Um,
right. That you can also
other,
not only just bags reps. Have you seen that you can place an auto turret up there?
yeah, I was also able to place a box. So I mean, you could put your gear in there, and you should be fine. You could put a small box, but considering you were able to put about 4 bags, you probably could put a large box as well. The other thing is there's a a way to not have to fight the scientists by using smoke grenades and the noob tuber to kill the chopper before it even lands.
So what you're
So
talking
they
about
need-
is this grenade launcher, correct?
Yes,
firing,
sorry.
firing grenade launchers at the Chinook as it comes in will kill the Chinook basically and kill all the heavy scientists, make it an even easier event. So
Yeah, so they either have to make that Chinook invulnerable
And
or
here's another thing, real
fix the
quick. We're
grenade
able
launcher.
to stay far enough away from the rig that we could see it via 4x or 8x scope, whatever it is now, with the bolt rifle and kill a majority of the scientists before even getting on the rig itself. So maybe they need to make it a way that you can't, if you fire at the scientist from a boat, maybe they just need to start unleashing on you, because you could just pick them off one at a time and they just basically stand still. They get a little scared and run away and try to hide, but there's not much. They're still on the rail. They can be shot. So
When you get close enough, they will shoot at you. I think the issue is that there's no scientist with a bolty. So
yeah, maybe
maybe
a
they need to add
maybe a
add
scientist
bolty
with the
scientist.
LX. Yeah.
If scientists had bolties, then people couldn't counter raid the oil rigs.
What do you mean?
Because a scientist with the bolties would be firing at people in ships approaching.
What about
That's
what about they have them but with just terrible aim, or they have them and it's you have to be sitting still for a little while before they fire up on you. Maybe something like that. That way, as long as you keep your boat moving and into
Yeah.
the forward direction towards the rig to try to take the rig, they don't fire upon you.
I still think that an easy way would be to just add radiation, and not just on the rig, but maybe around the rig.
I think radiation's a good thing, and I think removing the recycler might be a good thing. I think they just made it a little the monument a little overpowered is what it is. And I mean, even right now, it's a bug where you don't have to have the key card sometimes to even get into the red room. The doors are stuck open. So if they fix all these bugs, maybe they add in some radiation, maybe take away the recycler, maybe do a small change, just add radiation, keep the recycler at first, and see how that happens. But let's move on. We're going to talk a little bit about mini choppers as well. Mini chopper is a highly accurate flying machine compared to the hot air balloon. The last 4 times the U.S. clan here has been raided, a chopper has played a key role in it. I know, Crow, I know you have strong opinions about the mini chopper. You want to say a few words, maybe?
Yes. Can I say more than a few words?
You may say as many words as you please.
Actually, I don't mind the mini chopper so much. I mean, it's I
Does it make
It
the
ma-
map
it
feel
makes-
smaller?
no. It just changes the way base raiding works. It used to be hard to get to the top of people's bases, and now it's I've gotten used to them.
500 scrap, you get you a SAM site, you throw on top. A lot of people, what they're going for is they kill your windmill, and then then the SAM site's dead, and then they go raiding. They use the windmill to then fly up. So that's kind of the new meta. We talked about the meta in our last, I'll call it the experimental podcast we had previously, where the meta was raiding with explosive ammo. Now the new meta is flying a chopper to the top of someone's base and raiding straight down. So, but
Couldn't that be just countered by putting a ton of windmill all over the place and then not knowing necessarily which one does what?
there's also a way that you can have a windmill and have the windmill power a battery backup to keep your SAM site online for a certain amount of time after they break it. So there's something that
How hard is it to break a windmill?
it's pretty hard. I don't know off the top of my head.
Tools, explosives.
Tools, and
It'll
time.
take you, tools and time.
Yeah. So I mean, not valuable for an online raid but who onlines in Rust these days? Hot air balloons, they were not accurate at all, and they seem like they fit in the game. I don't know if maybe we're a little bit more old school and the times are changing. Saint, what do you think? Do you think that mini choppers should be in the game?
I love the mini choppers. They are pretty great, honestly.
Is it because you're good at flying them?
I'm decent. I'm decent.
Usually,
But,
what I
no,
do
it's
is I
not
get
bad.
about
It's
3 feet off the ground, and then I crash.
pro. What are
So
you doing here?
I think the way they could possibly fix the mini choppers is to reduce the quantity of low grade you can put in them at one shot. I know people could just still bring low grade with them,
that's a good
but
idea. You have to kind of do little
instead of
hops.
instead
Instead
of
of-
250, like maybe 100.
I think
and-
you could put as much as in there as you want, right? About 500, right? Or is it 250 max?
I thought it was 250 max.
I think you can put 500 in.
Okay, well maybe if they reduced it to like 100.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you can get
People
across
will
if you're flying fast enough, you can get across the map in 72 low grade. You know.
Yeah, but if you run into SAMs and you have to like dodge them, it'll be a little bit harder. The other issue with the mini choppers is they need to figure out a way to, or they need to add SAM sites on all monuments because people are using mini choppers to go on top.
Of stuff
The
like the
dome.
dome, yeah.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of challenging to do to get your chopper up there and land, and it's kind of rewarding, but not
but you
too
don't
rewarding.
necessarily need to land it. If you're two, you could just drop a dude. He
mhm.
can grab the stuff and then he can leave.
Yeah, maybe it's a little too easy right now. I mean, they could change up the structure so it's just harder to land on top of dome, stuff like
Just
that.
Put some poles up there and shit.
Yeah. That would
Ma-
fix that problem.
However, the hot air balloon is you get traveling by it by wind. You go up higher. The wind turns around in a circle. Maybe adding wind, a little bit of wind to the mini chopper. Because right now it's very static. If you're good at flying, you're good at flying, and you're gonna go in the direction you want to go. Maybe add in a little bit of wind, and we got wind turbines. We're looking at the tree right behind. Seriously, it's swaying back and forth. There's wind in the game, obviously. We got waves on the ocean now. Maybe a little bit of wind in the air, Seriously, what do you think about that? Maybe a little wind? Kind of set you off course?
I'm not really sure about that. I kind of like the idea that it's straightforward because you have players in Rust who, play a ton of hours. You have some who are here just, now and again when their schedules allow. And if you make everything, hard, you're going to lose the casual players. And I think that's something that helps balance the casual versus the hardcore, the small groups versus the large groups. So I'm actually okay the way it is.
That's a good point. I didn't think of something like that. Something, that to keep adding things that are more and more challenging, it's harder for the casual player to keep playing. There's always already complaints that, Rust is a full-time job, and sometimes it definitely does feel like that. Switching over, Facebook changed the ways ladders worked by not allowing ladders to be placed on high gates anymore. They did not change the way they work on high walls. A lot of people are just using choppers or balloons to fly right into compounds that don't have SAM sites. The SAM sites are a scrap investment of 500. Actually, really more like 575 because you've got to buy the ammo as well. But should Face Punch maybe change the way ladders work on walls? Add a buff to maybe high walls? By allowing no ladders to be
Well,
placed?
Maybe not no ladders, but maybe more than one ladder. Because right now you just need one ladder to get over a wall and one ladder to get out.
Mm-hmm.
If the wall was higher, like if it was the size of the gate, then you'd have to put two at least.
Yeah, looking over at the gate is a little bit higher than the wall. The only thing I don't know why they changed the way it works. Crow, don't you think that if you place your gate backwards, shouldn't we be able to allow to be placed a ladder on your gate and come into your compound? You messed up.
No, I would rather go the opposite direction. No walls on any of the high walls or stone gates.
You mean no ladders on it?
Yeah, no ladders at all.
So no ladders at all.
It defeats the purpose of having a wall.
Yeah.
Like tower in if you want to try. I mean, or just blast in the wall. How about that?
Yeah. Say, what do you think? Ladders, yes or no?
I'm with Crow on this one, actually. Surprisingly enough, I agree. I think walls should be walls. There's barbed wire on top for a reason. You shouldn't be allowed to do that shimmying over tactic.
You get
Make
to
them do something challenging.
You get to the top of the high wall, you stop, you eat a bunch of pumpkins, you heal up with a little bit of cloth, and then you fall in.
It's classic Rust, but it's just not very. I don't know. It doesn't seem like good gameplay to me.
What if you made the barbed wire a bit more potent? Like every second you're in there, you take damage, so you can't eat your way out.
Because you're literally sitting on top of barbed wire. That can't be comfortable. You're
right,
eating
bleeding
with
out. I mean,
you're bleeding. You're healing up with bandages, and you're eating pumpkins, and you're just sitting on barbed wire. Seriously, what do you think? Ladders, yes or no?
I think that ladders on walls are a bad idea, especially given the helos that we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
You can get over them, you can blast through them. Now the other alternative of making the barbed wire across the top more potent, that would also solve it.
Mm-hmm.
So
a lot of
I can go either way, depending on how they want to change it. But I think they do need to be made more defensive than what they are today.
A lot of YouTubers, if you go watch YouTube videos and whatnot, the way they get into compounds is not really by ladder, it's by being able to place twig in places. Like, say you either build a building too close to your wall and they place twig on it and then jump right over, or you have a TC coverage gap. So, and that's how they get in. Even a lot of people don't use ladders to get over because it does take a lot of meds to get over. So, maybe that's something they can look at, and maybe no ladders on walls. Because I don't know, I'm kind of leaning both sides of it. I like to have a compound, I like to have security, but the game also has to be able to be rated. The game has to be rated. You have to be able to be rated by about anybody in the server, right? Even a solo should be able to raid the biggest group, right?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
No, I think that if you're a solo and you're maybe raiding another solo that has a small compound, then yeah, it's either that or maybe they can fix or reduce the range that the TCs have, so people can have an easier time twigging in.
Maybe so. I always felt that everybody should have that opportunity.
If a solo can raid a huge clan, then what is the point of big bases?
Yeah,
so I'd also offer to counter to that, if a solo can raid a large group, the large group didn't defend very well and put their defenses in place. If a single player can get in and wreak havoc with them.
I agree with that. That's what I agree with. Seriously, I think you had something you wanted to mention.
So, kind of a bonus topic, if you will, beyond what you said in the intro. So, for those that stuck around and watch us through this or listen, the salvage shelves no longer can have boxes on top of it, and I hope that's something that Face Punch decides to fix.
Yeah,
I understand that they changed it so that you couldn't stack the salvage shelves up into heaven and see across the entire map. But that's something that is a bit of a challenge for many people with the loot rooms that they have. I did want to call out Evil Verst, with his videos on how to set up loot rooms, and that the dude does a great job. And but I do hope that's something that they change, because a lot of bases have been built with 6 boxes set on a set of shelves.
And obviously that can't be done right now because I would think that's something that they're going to fix, because probably just oversight on their look. They probably said, I don't know how code works, Crow. Saying, what they did was there were salvage shelves. You could stack them on top of one another. Now you can't, but you can't place a box on top of one another now. So you can't place a box on top of salvage shelves. So is that maybe something easy to fix? Can y'all even
Totally depends on how it's
start
implemented.
even start to
But
imagine how that
probably.
works? Yeah.
Probably it's easy to fix,
Maybe
but
that
you
would be
can't say for sure.
yeah. Maybe that'll be a quick fix, and we'll get that next update. Has anybody got any comments, questions, concerns they want to add to the end of this video, guys?
I'm actually surprised this didn't get interrupted by one of the egg events.
Everybody's in their buddy suit with a basket. Everybody's ready to go egg
We're
hunting
waiting.
again. And yeah, then we'll be coming out with a new video about the egg event here soon, guys. My name's Boxman. We got the Saint, Crowleg, Grandpa, and Seriously here with us. We appreciate y'all all watching, and we'll see you next time.
Good luck. Take care.